From day one, I was always taught to be a winner. No matter what, be a winner and be the best that you can be.
Floyd's last win against Pacquiao was his biggest, but fans were left feeling disappointed because he cruised to victory.
You guys put all the hype in Manny Pacquiao. That was you. That's what the media did.
Pacquiao wasn't able to bring the best out of me. So I believe Berto is the guy for the job.
That Floyd-Pacquiao fight was boring. You ever seen a boring Andre Berto fight? No.
And though Andre Berto was a former champion, many felt that a 49-0 record was guaranteed.
Well, it's not over yet. We still got 36 minutes to perform.
What about number 50? What about number 50? I can't overlook 49. Anything is possible. Anything can happen.
Andre was overlooked, but he certainly saw the value of the opportunity that was presented before him.
What's going on in my mind? I need to take that. I'm not gonna stand there and look at you run around the ring all day. I'm gonna come and get it. To show him that it's gonna be a long night. I got some history of my own I'm trying to make.
Critics expressed that Mayweather should have picked someone more difficult than Berto.
It's nothing that nobody can tell me that I don't deserve. On top, I got a chance to go in there and just shock the world.
Mayweather believed that as he had proven enough already, he was justified in making his send-off fight against whoever he wanted.
So is this the way you're going out? This is it for you? Like that's the way you're going out with Andre Berto?
Absolutely. I beat everybody I had to beat. No matter who I chose, the media was gonna have something to say. The critics was gonna have something to say.
Y'all chose Canelo, y'all chose Pacquiao. Y'all did that. I knocked them all down. So don't come to me tell me about no fighters no more.
Most people didn't believe that Floyd would leave the sport after 49 wins, as getting 50 wins would beat Rocky Marciano's historic record of 49 straight wins.
Saying that this is not Floyd's last fight. We'll just see. 2.5, 3 weeks, and I'm ready to hang it up and spend time with my children.
But Floyd felt that the quality of his opponents meant that he had already surpassed Marciano.
For the boxing, before I got in this sport, it was all about heavyweights. Floyd Mayweather is a winner when it's all said and done.
How many world champions I beat? The most in history, baby.
I had a great career. No fighter in the history has done what Floyd Mayweather has done. And I had a brilliant game plan. Talk trash and back it up. And that's what I did.
And as the bout approached, there was a sense of seriousness for Floyd's last fight.
When it comes to Saturday night, when it comes to fight time, I'm coming for my respect.
You got fighters that may hit harder than me. You got fighters that's very athletic. But you don't have no fighter that can make adjustments like me. This is called chess, not checkers. I'll see you guys Saturday.
Berto was the underdog, but he was certainly coming to win.
Pay-per-view king and pound-for-pound superstar Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather putting his undefeated record on the line.
Floyd Mayweather has said that this is it, the last chapter of his illustrious career.
From the first round, Mayweather showed immediately a difference in class.
Mayweather is going to the body, attacking with the right hand.
Even though Berto was taking it serious, Mayweather was not, proving that, as he claimed, even if a fighter has lots of strength, quickness or will, in order to beat him, they would need equal skill. And as the end of the fight was nearing, he started to get a little bit nostalgic.
You fought me from day one. I always remember everything working.
In the last round, Mayweather punctuated the fight with a great uppercut, before claiming his 49th victory against no losses and no draws.
And still champion, the undefeated.
After 19 years of professional fighting, Floyd was finished.
My career is over.
Is that official?
It's official. He's been world champion 18 years. You know, I broke all records. You gotta know when to hang it up.
Floyd had made his claim to the title of the best ever.
Am I wrong for saying that I'm the best? Don't it also show?
After 2015, Mayweather stuck to his word that he wasn't coming back until one seed of temptation began to blossom from a fighter who fought in the mixed martial arts side of combat. This fighter named Conor McGregor was a mirroring parallel to Mayweather when it came to charisma. Conor's meteoric rise in the UFC saw him claim the throne as the world's most intriguing draw, as he knocked out opponents from a stand-up position to put him in comparisons with Mayweather. And it seemed that he was getting bored of the challenges in his side of the pond.
From around here, I might have to jump up and drag Floyd Mayweather out bed and see what the he's at again.
Saying that there are many forms of fighting that can beat him. So Floyd, I mean, who would not like to dance around the ring for $180 million?
Once Floyd got whiff of Conor's challenge, he worked on putting together a crossover fight.
Fingers crossed, it may be a boxer versus an MMA fighter, so we just don't know. It's gonna be a tough fight for me, so we don't really know as of right now, but it's been a lot of talk.
Mayweather seemed to confirm that the fight would take place in 2016. However, it appeared as if Floyd was just teasing the fans when UFC promoter Dana White claimed nothing was in the works.
There was no offer ever made to anybody, and I'm actually making a real offer. We'll pay you $25 million. We'll pay Conor $25 million. There's a real offer to Floyd.
However, Floyd found the offer of $25 million laughable.
Last time I made $25 million was 10 years ago. Wow. Leading up to the Pacquiao fight, that week I made somewhere 25 to 30 million. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm signing off. It's all about Mayweather Promotions.
Always. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it.
Dana felt that Floyd was just being greedy.
First of all, Floyd thinks he's so much bigger than Conor. He's wrong. I'm not going to pay him way more money than I'm going to pay my guy. Where do we go from here, Floyd?
Conor went on to end 2016 by knocking out respected lightweight king Eddie Alvarez to become a two-divisional champion. But the boxing world was still unsure if that meant he could take on Floyd.
I don't think it's fundamentally bad, but I think that it's fundamental they ain't up there with the man either. A jab will take care of his ass all day.
They do learn striking, but it's a whole different level of striking in a pure boxing match than it is in a UFC fight. But most of these fighters like Conor, they do train at boxing. So their chances to beat a boxer is much better than a boxer's chance to beat a UFC guy who doesn't train UFC at all.
But the general sports world felt that McGregor's momentum gave him an edge.
Because Conor McGregor is the baddest man on the planet. I think he could beat Floyd.
And the anticipation for the fight increased once Conor officially received a boxing license.
Got his boxing license, full chicken mode. You know it is. He'd be a fool to box this man. And I just don't think at age 40 that he could knock out me.
Floyd was offended that Conor was even being put on his level.
But never compare Conor McGregor to me. I'm an elephant. Elephant don't beef with ants.
He compared you to an ant. He said he's an elephant. Time to say it to my face.
But all of this talk served to build up the fight.
A lot of barking, but there's no biting. When you talk about biting, sign the contract. Don't talk the shit. If you really want to fight, sign the f***ing contract.
Conor was waiting for a contract offer that would make it worthy.
He's running around the ShowTime offices begging to come up with $100 million cash for me to fight me. As long as that money is there, then we can fight under your safety net of rules.
And in 2017, Floyd officially announced he was coming back.
I'm coming out of retirement just to fight Conor McGregor. Sign the paperwork. Let's do it. I'm out of retirement for Conor McGregor today.
The build-up to this mega fight would be like no other before, with a 4-city press tour kicking off in Los Angeles, and the fireworks had begun before the fight started.
Baby, we did it! He is
Both fighters had never encountered an opponent who was just as confident and talkative as they were.
He will be unconscious inside 4 rounds. Is
has not experienced this. I'm not the same fighter I was 2 years ago. But I got enough to beat you. I was the A-side. That's why this had to come to the boxing ring.
I don't give a if it's an octagon. Put me in there.
Don't be talking shit. He wants me to come over his side. That's no problem. I'll do that. That's confidence.
You name him, and I beat him. You can get it right now. You can get it right now. You can get it right now.
I'm not gonna do shit.
Slow down, John, please. You want to make up the first one. So you're dead in 20 seconds. 20 seconds, I slam you within an inch.
After an exciting first presser, the two traveled to Toronto, Canada, and the intensity of the talk went up even more.
Let's get the press conference started.
I want everyone in this arena to scream at the top of your lungs. F the Mayweathers. Floyd is an old, weak. 1, 2, 3. F the Mayweathers. In a school bag on stage. What are you doing with a school bag on stage? You can't even read. He won't do shit. 40 years old carrying a school bag. The man doesn't even f***ing read.
The fans can't fight for you.
Shut your f***ing mouth.
P-Dot, let me see the bag. That like the quit? This a f***ing quitter. I'm 40, but I look 20.
And you act 10.
Yeah, I hear he like to quit. Real killers don't quit.
You're against a different animal here, Floyd.
Shut up, bitch.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You do something with that flag, you ain't getting this bag or this money back, and I'm gonna f you up on this stage.
After Canada came New York, where the two verbally jousted again at the Barclays Center, with even more drama for the fans.
You know what I smell? I smell a
Calm milk. She got plenty of ass. Yeah, I love them strippers. Yeah, I love them strippers.
They're all f***ing ones.
That's all you worth.
Where's the real money at?
Floyd was quick to remind the haters that this fight was smart business.
My legacy is already stamped on me. I don't need to do that. They're gonna talk about this business move at Harvard.
On to the next press stop, and the two went to London, England, which was of course a neighbor to Conor's homeland of Ireland.
I get to quadruple my net worth for half a fight. This is my first time in a boxing ring. And in 6 weeks, I run boxing. Boom. And when I sleep him, I'm gonna bounce his head off the canvas as well.
Though casual fans were enthralled by this fight, the boxing world felt that this fight was a total disrespect to the sport.
The fans think boxing died. I really don't see boxing dying, not through this fight or another one.
And most boxing insiders agreed that there was no way that Conor would pull off the upset despite Floyd's inactivity and old age.
May have a puncher's chance, but I just don't see it happening. Too much skill, too much talent on one end.
I don't give him a shot. Not even a shot. I see McGregor noticing how hard Mayweather hits.
I think he'll end up stopping him.
Yeah? You think so?
Yeah.
TKO or KO?
TKO.
Floyd is praying for me to fatigue in there, but I will not fatigue. I will continue to press forward, and I will break him.
But perhaps the biggest critic of Conor was former champ turned commentator Paulie Malignaggi, who from the first mention of the fight in 2016 gave a harsh assessment of his chances.
It's almost laughable. Put him in with a guy like me. I would laugh my way through the whole fight. I really would. It'd be like watching, watching a Kevin Hart movie. You know what I mean? You just sit there laughing. Like that's what I'd be doing. I'd be sitting there laughing while I'm fighting the guy because it's more comedy than it is anything else.
An offended Conor got his opportunity to make Paulie eat those words by inviting Paulie to be a sparring partner.
Conor's like a baby the elephant. He stores that. I was like, all right, man.
Oh, he said that? Whoops.
Look, he's been brought in to spar, and then he'll answer to what he's been saying, and then we'll go from there after that.
When the sparring took place, Conor showed that his boxing skills were better than expected, and eventually he knocked Paulie down. And that just convinced fans that maybe Conor would cause an upset.
How many more people are going to buy the fight now that you see Conor landing that straight left, dropping Paulie, and Paulie?
He came in, he spoke a hell of a game previous, very disrespectful to the skill set, very disrespectful to the discipline. It didn't go his way. He got his ass whooped, he got his pride dented, and then he wanted a way out.
And that way that he took was right into the gym of Mayweather, who teased that the whole thing was just planned out right from the beginning.
Paulie, thank you for going over there like I asked you to do. And he made it look good when he grabbed you and threw you down. You got a chance. I was a good one. We're gonna sit at the house and talk about strategy. We're gonna talk about everything. Don't you worry. Paulie.
And have Paulie talked about it to me? We'll just see.
But none of this seemed to faze Conor.
Let him speak. I'm sure he has. Let him speak. You can't prepare for me. You can't prepare for me.
However, Conor felt that Floyd was relying on him coming in ill-prepared.
Praying for me to fatigue in there, but I will not fatigue. I will continue to press forward, and I will break him. We no dancing in there, Conan. I'm going to go straight forward and put him away. Inside 4 rounds.
And at the last press conference, the two shared final words.
You should have left me over on that other game that I'm from, that more ruthless game where we bounce heads off the canvas. We are prepared for 12 3-minute rounds of non-stop pace.
The same way you give it, you have to be able to take it. Remember this. But for me to be 49-0, I'm not receiving it, I'm giving it.
Boom. Head off the canvas. And the new king of boxing. Good luck.
Good luck to you too.
The massive weigh-in continued on the excited atmosphere. For perhaps the first time in his career, Mayweather was being out-talked. But he did have one last thing to say.
It won't go the distance. Mark my word.
Conor McGregor having the audacity to go beyond the wall of the octagon.
It's showtime! McGregor! Mayweather!
Mr. Robert Bird. Mr. Mayweather. Yes, gentlemen, let's do this.
In the first round, Conor came out storming, and it was clear that his awkward style would need some adapting to.
Exactly what we would expect from him. You can see he's filled out so much since the weigh-ins yesterday.
Never been defeated, but he's never met anyone quite like Canelo Hoya. Canelo Alvarez.
There's a mismatch, obviously, with Conor McGregor making his debut.
Unlike many opponents, Conor had prepared a reliable counter to Mayweather's lead right hands.
If he can utilize that in this fight, he's going to have to do it early on.
Is he banking?
The start was in Conor's favor.
Doing okay.
About the 4th round or something, you're gonna be at it.
Wrote him off. Call this a total mismatch. McGregor bringing something different. Look at that.
Mayweather invested in body shots to tire Conor out.
Energy of Conor McGregor as long as this.
But Conor was full of energy and had a habit of reverting back to his old MMA attacks.
Don't do that! Don't do that!
No hammer fists allowed!
Land some punches on game plan. I really feel like he's trying to draw the.
3 shots were being hinted at as Floyd gave us his speech. And he's in this fight. Put in them many times.
Looks like McGregor.
Like a clock inside him. The speed as well, and Mayweather just trying
this. We don't know anything about him. Floyd has not been able to study any boxing.
Up until now, Conor had been doing better, but now Floyd wanted to turn up the pressure.
3 rounds of the money fight in Sin City.
Enjoy it, yeah? It's only gonna get better. Easy walk.
Specialist. Look at this pressure early. Conor back him up against the ropes, like connects early and hurts his opponents. Now, obviously Floyd Mayweather is a very difficult person to become a disadvantage for Conor if he's slowing him down.
Good body shot from Mayweather went in.
In the fourth, Mayweather was beginning to walk Conor down, forcing Conor to burn a lot of energy.
Really working to the body now with that straight right.
He's had more success in that. Both predicted knockouts. McGregor.
Conor's corner was now getting wary of Floyd's plan to tire Conor out.
Now this is starting to warm up and become a together. Couple of straight right to the body.
Floyd was now starting to increase the pressure as he wanted Conor to shoot his best punches.
Conor McGregor.
Now it was becoming abundantly clear that McGregor was indeed losing energy.
Absolutely go for broke, maybe trying to pace him. He won the first couple. Mayweather's fine.
Midway through, the bout was turning up in intensity and Mayweather was swinging hard punches.
So that picked some heavy counter punch, which is what he's doing now.
Whether he has the conditioning to back it up though is really the question here, but this is
seen him with this sort of approach in quite a few fights.
He's kind of landed that big punch.
So he's obviously tactically trying to get through.
Despite being past 40, Mayweather was looking fresh going into the middle late rounds.
Very accurate here in round 7.
Himself in there, but he still can't get reckless. Conor's still got that 1 punch power. To try and weigh on Floyd a little more against the ropes.
He is the best of our generation in the uppercut, but being walked down, that was low from Mayweather, but that wasn't. The first couple had just gone for broke.
As time progressed, Floyd's domination began to grow.
Coming forward to try and knock someone out. Doesn't happen.
You're right what you said, Carl, earlier though. The power now, he's gone from those punches.
In the uppercut, but being walked down, that was low from Mayweather, but that wasn't. And the truth of the ring really beginning.
Floyd Mayweather, and now Mayweather, the time beginning to turn in round 6. Now Mayweather beginning
the very first boxing match, so you know, there was going to be it's going to be throwing at the deep rounds to get through with the best boxer in the world. It makes sense to be a little cautious.
This fight when he wants to end it, by my words, when he decides this fight's over, Floyd Mayweather will say
shots, possibly. McGregor being stopped on his himself excellently within the rules here. Conor McGregor, but the rules.
Surprisingly, in round 9, McGregor came out with a second win, but how long would it last?
Fight has reached round 9. McGregor
shot, and Mayweather hurt there. Was that low or was that legitimate?
He knows he's getting into the last few rounds, so he can invest a little more in these punches. But
feels that he hasn't really.
We've still got half a round to go. He's taking deep.
Conor had spent all of his energy, and with 3.5 rounds still to go.
He's always smiling, looking around.
Oh, just falling into the rope.
Another right hand to left.
Oh, especially with his opponent taking deep breaths.
It now seemed like a stoppage was imminent, and Floyd knew it, so he pushed the attack.
Switch is there, McGregor. Southpaw to orthodox. Wants a different outcome. This the round where he. The punishment. Conor McGregor's game effort is over.
What a night it has been here in Las Vegas.
For that man, Floyd Mayweather, first stoppage since 2011.
Mayweather had done it yet again, and he had reached 50-0.
And still undefeated, Floyd.
This was my last fight tonight, ladies and gentlemen. My last fight. He's a lot better than I thought he was. I must come straight ahead, go to him. We want him to shoot his heavy shots and give the fans a show, and I think that's what I gave him. I guaranteed everybody that this fight wouldn't go the distance. I like to call up the notorious one, Conor McGregor.
Despite the bad blood prior to the bout, they had now earned each other's respect.
I thought Floyd was phenomenal in there, very composed, very select with his shots. I didn't anticipate that. Three game changes in the fight. That's what a true champion does. Much respect. You came with it.
And if an enemy of Floyd could give his credit, would the media finally do the same?
told you, Skip, he was gonna spring that trap on him, and he got it.
My final and biggest takeaway from what I saw on Saturday night, let me congratulate Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Floyd Sr. Floyd did something I thought he couldn't do. He came out of his comfort zone. He had to just lower his head and bull into Conor McGregor's chest, and he did it. By far, entertaining and impressive fight of Floyd's career.
After looking back at Floyd's life and career, without excessive focus on the controversial, it becomes difficult not to admit that Floyd's story is indeed a fight to the top. And though some of his methods turn some fans into haters, it must be remembered that without those methods, he may not have commanded the attention that made him into a superstar. But more than being a superstar, he was the American dream.
You know, I'm a kid that came from poverty.
And he was birthed amongst chaos and crime.
7 deep in a 1-bedroom apartment, no hot water.
He showed us that hard work pays.
You gotta push yourself and tell yourself it ain't never enough.
And with a perfect pro record, he had still taken L's.
Guess what? This was not a good decision.
You know, I can't deal with this amateur boxing anymore.
He showed us exactly how to respond.
Because that made me work hard to get to where I'm at today.
And those losses extended outside of the ring.
To find out that my freedom is more important than anything. Tough times don't last. Tough people do.
And throughout 2 decades, he faced critics who were never satisfied.
As an honest person, I spoke my mind. And I'm speaking from the heart. That's what counts.
In his defiance to the naysayers, he showed us how to believe.
Every fighter that's in this room has to feel that he's the best. I don't call it overconfidence. I call it believing.
Along with his growth came the mending of family conflict.
All right, baby, Pinky. Make sure everything's good, man. All right, that's it.
Put my family, my mother, my father in a comfortable position.
He set an example to those who look up to him, using his mind to become a billion-dollar champion.
And continue just to live a healthy life. They can have it all back. I just want to live a long time.
He pushed the next generation to be great.
To inspire the kids to tell them, you can make it to this point someday also. It's time for a new star to rise, hopefully under the Mayweather banner, which we truly believe we can find the next Floyd Mayweather.
And stepping into the void that Mayweather left would take one hell of a fighter, but at least it can be said that Mayweather left the perfect blueprint for fighters to follow, both inside the ring and out.